My name is Robin Schwarz, and I am from the St. Charles Fred Astaire Studio.
Thank you for being here and sharing your story. Obviously breast cancer is such a terrible disease, and I personally went through it with my sister. She had 26 weeks of chemo.
Yes.
So, and it affects everybody around you.
Yes.
And my goal was to get her active, and actually I took her to a dance class. So tell me a little bit about how this whole thing began.
Well, I was diagnosed in January of 2010 with stage 2B breast cancer. I had 8 rounds of chemo, double mastectomy, radiation and reconstruction, and I was 36 years old at the time.
Oh, goodness.
So pretty young, and it's such a long process, especially reconstruction. People don't realize how involved that is. You go through all the yuck of treatments and everything else, and then you're like, I'm on the other side, but there's surgery after surgery after surgery. I've had like 20 surgeries,
Wow.
Just, and the recovery for that is, it's challenging too, because there's a lot of downtime. You're laying around trying to get well. And, there's a piece of breast cancer that a lot of people don't really talk about, and that is, post-treatment depression, where you kind of get to the other side and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't even know that person. What just happened and what now? Very common to have happen. And for me, I started to realize I need to find something for myself. And one of the things my doctors told me was to consider exercise part of my treatment plan. Ongoing, even, after everything, because it was my best chance at avoiding recurrence, right? So I decided to try a dance class. I heard about Fred Astaire from a friend, and said, my other friend is doing this, and you've always loved to dance. And it didn't really have any training in dance. I wasn't allowed to dance growing up because of the church that we went to and everything. But anyway, I went to a studio and I took the first lesson, and I drove home that day and I was like, that did something. That just did something for me.
Passion.
Yes, and it kind of snowballed, and I've been doing it now for 7 years. So it really, in so many ways, just it was the next level piece of healing that I needed, emotionally speaking. I went in feeling so physically broken, with so many aches and pains, and just all of this emotional scarring from having walked down this road and being bald and all the things, and hacked up and all of that. So I remember the first time, I was in a lesson and we were working on cube emotion, and the instructor was like, oh, see, now that's really sexy. That looks really good. And I actually turned around thinking he was talking about something somebody else was doing.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, what? Oh, there's nobody there. Wait, me? And I was like, you're referring, what? Like, it was a little bit mind-blowing to me at the time, because I did not feel beautiful in that moment, I had kind of lost a sense of femininity, and, it's really hard. People don't realize, and I didn't realize. I thought, double mastectomy will be no problem, because, reconstruction will be great, and it's not. It's not easy. It's not, it's not what you think, And so for me, that was a huge moment. And the first time I competed and put on this amazing dress and had the makeup and the hair, and I got on the floor, I was like, I feel like a woman. I feel feminine and beautiful and like a princess, if you will. It sounds so cheesy to say, but it's true. And it did something for my soul. I had been in therapy for a while, trying to get past the blues and the depression that I had been in, and in a matter of a month or two, dance did what therapy could not.
Wow.
And really actually changed so many pieces of myself, emotionally speaking, mentally even, just the way that I thought about my body and the way that I thought about who I am changed. You know, at some point, I really hated my physical body. I mean, it tried to kill me, right?
Yeah.
So, and in order to save it, to save me, I had to butcher it, burn it, poison it. You know,
Wow.
like that's really what happens. And so on the other side, it was really, really hard. And dancing allowed me to see that my body can still work for me, and I can make peace with it. It doesn't have to be my enemy all the time, and there's a lot of freedom in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember when my sister lost her hair, and her hair was everything, and she lost her identity in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, and going to dance class and having the support of the family and all that, she said, "I'm starting to feel like a woman again."
Yeah.
When did you have that moment?
You know, it really was in that dance lesson where my instructor said, "Oh, now that's really sexy," and I was like, "Wait, I don't think of myself that way," you know, and that kind of started to change my perception of me as a woman, and you know, that the cancer and all of the things that had happened to me didn't have to define me, and it didn't have to define my sense of femininity and beauty, you know. I really do believe that was a pivotal moment for me.
How did dance change your life?
Truly, it recreated me and pulled me out of the darkest place I've been in life. I mean, again, there are so many aspects of it, and you know, one is physical. I lost some weight. I started to feel better. Emotionally speaking, just having that sense of feeling like a woman again, and feeling like I can be beautiful, even though I've been through a lot. And I mean, it lifts the mood. It kind of, you know, brings us some adrenaline and life. You know, it kind of pulled out a passion that I had that I didn't even know was there. And then there was community too. You know, the people that I met in the studio that were just, everybody's great. Everybody's very welcoming. I find that the community within Fred Astaire Studios it's welcoming, and everybody's, it's not competitive. I mean, it is a little bit, but it's not also. It's more, you know, family. And that was a great thing. I never felt, you know, like excluded or left out of anything. People were just inviting me along to, hey, after this party, we're going to go to this restaurant. Do you want to come along? Like, everybody's invited, you know, like, it's great. It really is. It's fantastic. And I think that's always important. You know, it takes a lot of people to rebuild a life. And Fred Astaire was a lot.
So would you say there was more than a dance studio for you?
Absolutely, it was.
It's a family.
Still is.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long have you been dancing now?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your life without it?
I sure can't. Not at all.
What would you say to other people that are going through this?
I would say, first of all, get moving, stay moving, whatever that means to you. Like, anything is better than nothing. But I mean, I am a big supporter of ballroom dance and the community and Fred Astaire. And I would say, if you have a Fred Astaire studio near you, just go take that introductory lesson and try it. And just see what it might do for you. Because I know for me, even after that first lesson, and you know, very, very basic. First of all, they break it down so well. So you walk in and feeling, because everybody says to me, I hear this all the time when I try to bring people, oh, I'm such a terrible dancer. I have no rhythm. I have 2 left feet. I have whatever. I'm a slow learner. I'm not coordinated. Whatever. But the teachers know how to break it down and make it so simple that anybody actually can do it. Like, everybody starts kind of in the same place, right? You got to learn those basic steps, and they're broken down so that you can do them. And the flourish comes with time, you know. and there's always something more. There's always another level. There's always, but everybody can do it.
That's wonderful. If somebody's sitting at home and they're not necessarily going through treatments or anything like
Sure.
that, but they're looking for something in their life, what has dance brought to you outside of this?
Yeah. Oh man, again, the community is one thing. A sense of physical fitness is another. And I think for anybody going through, and everybody has difficulties,
Correct.
right? Like in life. And that looks different for everyone. But I think for anybody going through a hard time, dance is just such an outlet for, first of all, I think one of the great things about dance is you kind of have to be present in the moment. It gets you out of your head, right? And in doing so, lifts your mood and creates a sense of accomplishment. And wow, I just did that. I didn't know I could do that. I think there's a lot of confidence and energy and life to be gained just from learning and realizing that you can do more than you thought you could do. And something I've said many times before is, emotionally speaking, I feel like there's actually a place that words don't quite reach in the soul, right? And somehow dance does. Like it's that expression of things that you can't really say.
Did you say you're like almost reborn?
Yeah.
In a sense?
It really did. For me, it was that. It absolutely was. And people say, wow, how did you get here after breast cancer? And I'm like, I've got my family, I've got a strong faith, and ballroom dance. And people laugh. And I'm like, no, but really, actually.
That's a healthy life, I call that.
Yeah. Like those are the top three things that got me through what I needed. And like I said, way better than therapy for me in terms of the emotional aspects of what I was trying to work through.
When I say Fred Astaire Dance Studios, what does that mean to you?
Family.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing
Of
your
course.
story.
Absolutely.
And actually, to the studio owners and teachers across the country, I encourage you and challenge you to share your students' stories, your story, the family story, the doctors that deal with this. And, we want to know. We want to hear you. We want to relate to you. We want to embrace you. Because that's what Fred Astaire Dance Studios is about. We love you all, and we love you. And love the hair, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. Make a difference. Contribute to the walks. The entire month of October is Breast Cancer Month. Congratulate people that deserve it, that have beat this terrible disease, and encourage the ones to go and get tested as well, because that's part of it. And get them dancing. It leads to a healthy life and a wonderful, wonderful journey. So look forward to hearing from all of you. Use Instagram, use Facebook, social media, and share your story. Tag us at Fred Astaire Dance Studios. Thank you.